Hello bookworms! Today I'm going to be doing a video about all of the series that I have started but I haven't finished yet and that I want to finish. Sometimes I struggle with reading series because I get really invested and then I really love the characters and then I don't want to finish because I don't want them to end. So it depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I can't not wait. That was double negative, but for instance, the Infernal Devices series I'm reading now, I have to read the third one. So that one, as much as I don't want it to end, I need that third one. So it really just depends. But anyway, I'm going to be showing you the ones that I have started and have not yet finished. First up, I have the Summer series by Jenny Han. I've read the first book, The Summer I Turned Pretty, but I still have to read It's Not Summer Without You and We'll Always Have Summer, which are books 2 and 3. And I'm probably going to read them kind of soon because we're getting into the summer season, so I'll be more excited about reading about books about summer. Next up, I have the Diviners series by Libba Bray. I read the first book, The Diviners, but I still have not yet gotten to Lair of Dreams, and I talked about that in my intimidating TBR tag, and the main reason is because it is so big and I just can't fathom carrying it around with me on a train for a week, even though maybe my arms will get a workout or whatever. So I will get to this one soon and I am excited for it because I did really enjoy the first book, but I guess it's just been so long because I waited forever for this one to come out that I'm not pulling it off of my shelf immediately. Next up, I have the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. I read the first book, Red Queen, but I have not yet read Glass Sword. Again, this is one that I'll probably get to soon. I have been kind of binging a lot of contemporaries lately, so there is a chance that I will be more apt to pick up a fantasy book soon, even though I usually tend to like those in the winter, the most. I think it's probably gonna happen because there's only so many contemporaries that I can read in a row. Next, I have the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series by Laini Taylor. This is one of the ones that I really don't want to end. I read the first book, Daughter of Smoke and Bone, and I read the second book, Days of Blood and Starlight, but I have not yet read Dreams of Gods and Monsters. But I feel like I will get to this soon because I really would like to finish this trilogy before Laini Taylor's new book comes out, just so I'm not super behind on the things that she's been writing. Next, I have the Magicians trilogy by Lev Grossman. I read the first book, The Magicians, and I read the second book, The Magician King, but I've not yet read The Magician's Land. This was actually on my TBR a few months ago because I've been really loving the sci-fi show, but I didn't have a chance to get to it that month. And I, again, would like to get to this one soon. I've been pretty good with series this year, so I feel like this is going to be my year of completing series and being up to date on series. So this is definitely high on my list of things to get to. Next, I have Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I have read The Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and Heir of Fire, but I have not yet read Queen of Shadows. And again, this is another one that is really long, and that's part of the reason that I haven't read it yet, which is a really bad excuse. But I need to, and I want to read it before the fifth one comes out, and that's the end of this because my arms can't take these for that much longer. Next, I have the His Fair Assassins trilogy by Robin Lefevers. I've read the first book, Grave Mercy, and I've read the second book, Dark Triumph, but I have not yet read Mortal Heart. I just read Dark Triumph in March, and it's now April, so I'm not too far behind on that, and I do really want to read that one very soon, so this is another series that I'm definitely planning on completing this year. Then I have the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. I've read the first book, Shadow and Bone, but I have not yet read Siege and Storm or Ruin and Rising, so I actually have to read 2 books before I can complete this series. I was initially planning on just reading Six of Crows because I really wanted to get to that, but I don't know, I just impulsively was like, you know what, I'm just going to read the Grisha trilogy first just so that I have that knowledge because I'm one of those people that needs to know everything that I can when I'm going into something that already has background. So as much as I've heard that you don't have to read this, I felt like I needed to, so that's what I'm doing. Next, I have the Selection series by Kiera Cass. I have read the Selection, I have read the Elite, and I have read the One, but I have not yet read the Heir, and I have not yet read Happily Ever After, which is just a collection of short stories. So I have to read those 2, and then the final book, The Crown, is also coming out. This is one that I've been a little bit hesitant about because I really love the Selection series, but I've heard nothing but terrible things about the Heir. So I don't know when I'm gonna get to it, but We'll see. I have to, just because I really like the first 3 books. This is actually a really exciting one. So the Girl at Midnight series by Melissa Gray. I have obviously read the first book, The Girl at Midnight, and I loved it. But last weekend, or 2 weekends ago now, I had my bridal shower, and Melissa came and she gave me an Arc of the Shadow Arrow, which is the second book in the series, and it comes out in July, and I really can't wait to read it. And literally the only reason that I haven't read it yet is because I just got it. So that's the only reason I haven't gotten to it. But this one is like at the top of my TBR because I really, really loved this first book. Then I have The Orphan Queen duology by Jodi Meadows. I've read the first book, The Orphan Queen, but I've not yet read The Mirror King. And this is another similar thing. I sort of liked the first one. Like, I thought that it was pretty good, but I saw the twist coming like really early on, so I didn't love it as much as other people seemed to. But the second book, the Mirror King, just came out a few weeks ago, so that's why I have not yet gotten to this one. And it's also actually another kind of big book that I really wasn't expecting. I thought it was going to be closer to the size of the first book, but I guess since it's a duology, they had to fit a lot in the second one. Then I have the A Darker Shade of Magic series by Victoria Schwab. I've read the first book, A Darker Shade of Magic, but I have not yet read A Gathering of Shadows. This is one that I'm definitely going to get to soon. I freaking love Victoria Schwab. She is like so amazing, and I just listened to a podcast that she was on, and she talked about A Gathering of Shadows, and now I want to read it like even more. This one I was kind of debating whether or not to include, but I have the Conspiracy of Us trilogy by Maggie Hall. I read the first book, The Conspiracy of Us, and I'm actually like in the middle of reading Map of Fates, so I'm not up to date yet, but I will be up to date really soon because, like I said, I am reading it right now. Then I have the Starbound trilogy by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I've read the first book, These Broken Stars, but I have not yet read The Shattered World or Their Fractured Light. To be honest, I just haven't been that in the mood for sci-fi reads lately, so that's why I have not yet gotten to these, even though I've obviously had at least 2 years, so oops. But I will get to them soon. I did really like the first book, but they're a companion series, so the first story was like kind of wrapped up, and that's another reason why I haven't necessarily jumped into the second 2 yet. Then I have the Rebel Belle series by Rachel Hawkins. I've read Rebel Belle, but I still have to read Miss Mayhem and Lady Renegades. Lady Renegades just came out a month or 2 ago, and the reason that I'm not caught up on this one is because I have heard really not so great things about Miss Mayhem, so I'm not that excited to dive into that one as much as I really enjoyed Rebel Belle, but I will. And I just love the cover of Lady Renegades, so I do want to get to this one too. Next, I have The Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. I've read the first book, The Kiss of Deception, but I have not yet read The Heart of Betrayal. And then the third and final book actually comes out, I want to say, in July. So I'm definitely going to read this before that one comes out. And hopefully that one I will read like right when it comes out. And then I will be completed with this series this year as well. Next, I have the Reckoners trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. I have read the first book, which has disappeared somewhere in my apartment, and that is Steelheart. So I read that and loved that one. I read Firefight. Firefight was actually the first book that I read this year, I want to say, and I really liked that one too. And then Calamity came out in February, but I haven't read it yet, but I need to because I really love the series and I really love Brandon Sanderson. So again, this is one that I'm going to complete by the end of the year. Then I have the Undertow trilogy by Michael Buckley. I read the first book, Undertow, but I've not yet read Raging Sea, which came out in February. This is another one that I am planning on reading very soon because I did enjoy this, and it has more of like a summery feel because it takes place in Coney Island and it deals with like mermaids and stuff. So I am definitely going to get to this one like in the next couple of months. Then I have the Vampire Academy series by Rochelle Mead. I've read Vampire Academy and I have read Frostbite, but I still have to read Shadow Kiss, Blood Promise, Spirit Bound, and Last Sacrifice, so I have quite a bit of reading to do in this series. I really liked the first 2. I thought that they were really fun, but I just never got into the third one, and it was because I read most of it, and then I had like 20 pages left, and I was going on vacation, so I didn't want to bring that whole book with me, so I didn't, and then I didn't read it when I got back because I was already invested in Ready Player One at that time, so that just happened, and then it just took me a really long time to like finally read those pages, but I have, and now I'm ready for the third one. Next, I have The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. I have read Clockwork Angel and Clockwork Prince, and I am reading Clockwork Princess as my next book, so this is another one that will be finished really soon because I need to know what's gonna happen. Then I have The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. I have read City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, and City of Fallen Angels. I have not yet read City of Lost Souls or City of Heavenly Fire, and the reason that is because I knew that the Infernal Devices ending was spoiled in City of Lost Souls, so that's why I took like a break from this and I'm reading the other one, and then once I finish reading that book, I can read these two, and then I can read Lady Midnight. Then I have the Shades of London series by Maureen Johnson. I read The Name of the Star and I read The Madness Underneath, but I haven't read The Shadow Cabinet, and the reason for that one is I didn't really love The Madness Underneath as much as I loved the first one, so that's why I've kind of been just putting off the third one, and I know that I'll get to it eventually, but it's not something that's like very high on my list. And then finally, I have the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. I've actually only read The Lightning Thief and The Sea of Monsters, so I still have to read Titan's Curse, Battle of the Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian, and then I'll be caught up on these. I do want to read these. I don't know why I haven't. Maybe I'll pick up the third one next month and get back on this. So those are all of the series that I have started but have not yet finished that I want to finish, because there are a few series that I've started that I don't really feel inclined to finish, and that's why I decided not to include them in this video. But yeah, so I might do another video showing you guys the series that I have completed. Let me know if that's something that you want to see, and I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye!